Hello and welcome back. The first step to creating our video is going to be to create our visual aid. And this is actually what's going to be up on the screen whenever you are talking and demonstrating whatever it happens to be. Now, a screen recording is not the only type of video that you can create, but it is one of the easiest to create and to get your feet wet with video. As far as creating a visual aid, you have three main options. There's a whole bunch of different options out there, but these are the three that most people are most common with. The first one is going to be PowerPoint. Now, PowerPoint is a paid program from Microsoft. I'm sure you've heard of it. That's kind of the standard with presentation software. So you may already have it on your machine. If you do, then go ahead and use it. You don't have to use one of the other options. If you're on a Mac, you have Keynote. Keynote is Apple's version of PowerPoint. It has different features. It does different things. Keynote is actually what I'm using to create this presentation. And then you also have a free option called Google Drive, and then you can create a presentation in there. Google Drive is nice because it's in the cloud. It does have a few advantages. You don't have quite the extensive features of PowerPoint and Keynote, but it is a great free option and it works perfectly well. What I'm going to focus on is using Google Drive. So just in case you don't have PowerPoint or Keynote, you can use Google Drive. Anybody can. It runs inside your web browser, so you don't have to have any software installed on your machine. It runs on Mac, PC, Linux, Chromebook, the iPhone, the iPad, whatever it happens to be that you have easy access to. So the first thing you're going to do whenever you're creating this PowerPoint, I always recommend starting with an outline. Don't worry about the design. Don't worry about images. Don't worry about fleshing out everything. You'll do that later on, and trust me, this will be easier if you do it this way. So go through and create an outline like you would a paper, or like most of us do whenever we get ready to do a presentation. Just put all of your ideas, all of your thoughts in the outline, and you'll be good to go. From there, you'll create the slides. Now, this is an advantage of PowerPoint or Keynote, is you can actually create the outline in the program, and PowerPoint and Keynote will automatically put in those slides for you. They'll automatically create them. And whenever you start to create these slides, always start with the most basic version. Start with a white background with black text, or if you want to do the opposite, that's fine. From there, you can then, once you get all your content there, you can then create your cool little graphics and your animations and whatever else you need. Again, you don't have to do that. You can leave it with black text on a white background or vice versa, and it looks great. But if you want to jazz it up a little bit, you want to do that later on. The other thing you want to do is you want to add notes or script. You don't want to put every word on this PowerPoint presentation. You want to save some for whenever you're talking. And if you put a whole bunch of information on these slides, you're going to overload your audience. You'll notice here that I used short statements. You know, the first line is 4 words, the second line is 4 words, 2, and then 5 words. So you don't want to type out paragraphs here. What you want to do is you want to put those in your notes. Now, you can either type those in a separate Word document. PowerPoint and Keynote and Drive give you the option of adding notes to the presentation. Or you can just write them out on a piece of paper, whatever system works best for you. If you're not very good with just going off an outline and creating the thoughts and ideas in your head, if you would prefer to write out a script, write out a script. Either way works great, but whenever you're reading the script, you just want to remember to not sound rehearsed. You want it to sound natural. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to create a presentation in Google Drive. All of these steps work the same in PowerPoint or Keynote. The interface may just be a little bit different. I'll show you what the interface looks like and the differences between the two really quickly, but the overall principles of Google Drive or PowerPoint or Keynote are all the same. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to drive.google.com. If you don't already have a Google account, then it will prompt you to create one there. You can get a Gmail address and all that kind of stuff, which you don't have to use. Or if you already have another email address, you can actually create a new Drive account with that email address. But most people already have a Gmail account. Whether or not you use it is up to you. But to be able to use the Drive, you do need a Google account. So then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to hit create right here in the Drive area. It's going to pop open this other window over here, and you're going to hit presentation, and that's going to load up a new presentation for you. So I actually have a presentation loaded up, and whenever you click on that presentation, a new window will open, and this is what you'll get. And again, you remember that I recommended that you always stick with the most basic theme. You can go down through here and change the theme later on, easy peasy, but you always want to start out with something basic. This is going to get your mind focused on creating the content versus creating the design. And if you're like me, the design matters, and it will get in the way of you adding the content in here, and you'll spend hours working on the design, and then once you add the content in, the design may or may not fit. So I always recommend hitting simple light there, and then you're going to hit OK down here on the bottom. It's going to create this new presentation for you. And then as far as the interface goes, you'll notice you have a big slide here. Over here are going to be all your thumbnails. You can add new slides here, and it will add slides all the way down. You also notice you have a notes panel down here. Again, this is the same as Keynote or PowerPoint. You can add your notes in here, and I do this all the time. I'll have a sentence in my head that I want to say, so I'll take out the most important words, 3 or 4 or 5 words, put those on the presentation, and then I'll add the sentence to the notes, so then it prompts me to say that sentence. Then you can always go back and edit it and make it really sharp and fine-tune the sentence. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a title slide. And usually what you'll do is you'll just do video here and then by your name. But you can do this however you want. And you'll notice here that Google does not have the option to create an outline. So in a Word document, you can also throw up a Drive document, create a new Word document, just type out that outline. You can write it down, use Evernote, whatever works for you. And then just copy that onto this presentation here. And then you'll notice it will automatically put your second slide as a title and then text. So you'll notice that this is the same type of outline as my presentation that I created for this. So we're just going to put video presentation. All right, so now I have some content in here, and I just typed up some stuff about video. So you'll notice here that I put it in here as an outline. You can also come up here and add bullets if you prefer to do bullets. You have a formatting guide up here, just like most of your what you see is what you get type editors online. And so it will create this presentation for you. You also have different fonts, different font sizes, bold, italic, underline, different font color. You can add links, comments, all that kind of stuff. And you also have the ability to add images. You can also add lines, shapes, arrows, all that kind of stuff. You can add in here just about anything that you want that you can come up with. You even have the option to add in videos, so you can play a video here to show what a good video looks like or what a bad video looks like. And another thing you'll notice that's different from Keynote and PowerPoint is you'll notice this all changes saved in Drive. What that means is that Drive, since it's in the cloud, every time you type, every time you make a change, it automatically saves everything. So then I can go to my laptop and I can pull up this presentation and keep working on it. Or I can pull out my iPad or my iPhone and continue working on this presentation. That's one of the nice advantages of being able to use the cloud. And so now let's just say that my presentation is only going to be 2 slides long. You can now actually present this inside the browser, and you'll notice that it'll go completely full screen. The entire browser goes away. If you have like Internet Explorer or Safari, certain type of browsers, ask for your permission to be able to take the screen full screen. Just allow it. It doesn't take away control over, and if you just hit the escape button, it goes back into your browser. So it gives you the ability to present your presentation just by recording the screen, and then you'll record the screen and use a mic plugged into your computer. So you can see how easy this is. If you do want to change the theme later on, you can change the theme. Let's say I want to use Spotlight here. I'll hit OK. You'll notice that it won't change any of the text here, but it'll automatically format the different font color, all that kind of stuff. You can also create your own theme. You don't have to use one of theirs. You can change the background color. You can set it as an image. So if you go out and you find cool images that you want to use that pertain to your presentation, you can use those as well. All right, so that is how to create a presentation. You can also change the title up here at the top. So you can just do create your title, then you can find it later on in your Drive account. So that's how to easily create a presentation. Again, this is free software. Anybody can use it. It just requires a browser and constant internet connection. That's the only disadvantage of doing something in the cloud. It is always saved, so that's nice, but you always have to have an internet connection. And as far as Keynote goes, this is what Keynote looks like. And you'll notice that I have the option here to do an outline. As I create my outline, just like I would, I'm just using Tab and Shift Tab to create these different bullet points, just like you do whenever you create a normal outline. It is automatically creating these different slides. And PowerPoint and Keynote both give you the exact same option to create with a simple white or a default presentation. You do have a few more options here. You can actually create a 16:9, which is just wider here, so it kind of fits a widescreen monitor a little bit better. Whereas you'll notice with Google Drive, I did not have that option. And PowerPoint gives me that option as well. So you'll notice that the user interface is very similar to what the Drive interface looks like. It has a lot more fancy features you can see, but the basics are the same. And I'll show you what PowerPoint looks like here. This is actually the Mac version for PowerPoint, but they're both essentially the same. And you'll notice that I have the same option, the same layout. I also have an outline option here, so you can easily create your outline. And as you go through and create it, it'll automatically put in those slides. So if you already have Microsoft Office or you have these applications, you can use these applications. You're probably going to get a little bit more out of them if you have them. But if you don't have them, then Google Drive works perfectly fine. And it'll give you just about every option that you actually need to create these PowerPoint presentations. Now that we actually have our PowerPoint presentation created, what we're going to do is we are going to walk through different video recording options on both the Mac and the PC. We're going to look at free options as well as paid options. So I'll see you in the next video.